The new network 9.5.21 has a option called Zone-Based Firewall, which I use here on my UDM Pro. The Zone-Based Firewall is a option you can switch over from your previous version, which is a new way of managing your UniFi firewall, which is basically a software defined firewall, right? So the UniFi always has been a software defined networking option vendor, and this new feature allows you to create your firewall based on zones. For example, in here I have the internal, external, gateway, VPN, hotspot, and DMZ. This comes by default. You can notice that external, gateway, and VPN has these little locks right next to it. These are predefined firewalls that cannot be edited. But however, the rest can be edited and moved around, and you can add items to it. For example, I have certain networks that I can add or remove from these areas, and you still do have access to creating your own firewall rules. For example, let's look at this table. It has the source and the destination, and if I click on this internal source to internal destination, and you can see there's two rules: isolate networks and allow all traffic. Now they're isolating one network, 192.168.3.0 here, and then right below it you have the option to create a policy. So if I click on create policies, you can see all the firewalls options that you've seen before, the prior to the unified zone-based firewall migration, is still available to you. So when you switch over to zone-based firewall, you can't roll back to the previous version. However, you can by doing it through restoring a backup. Like basically you can create new firewall rules on zone-based firewall and switch over to the previous version, and it's not going to be there as of today. But you can, however, restore if you do not like the zone-based firewall. So again, once you get to the firewall section, you will be presented with the new network version on your UniFi device, such as UDM Pro, to switch over to the zone-based firewall. And once you migrate to the zone-based firewall, you can roll it back, but however with a backup from the previous firewall, but not from actually roll back whatever you have here. You can carry over the zone-based firewalls to the previous version, so keep that in mind. But again, I just want to highlight, because some people may be freaking out when they see this, when they roll over your home network especially over to the zone-based firewall, that you don't have the flexibility of creating policies, but you do. Simply you select whatever you want to create the policies. For example, let's go to this hotspot. I click on it. I want to add a policy. I click on create policy. You still can go ahead and add those policies. So that's all I want to point out. And this is not an in-depth video or anything like that. I just want to show you that the zone-based firewalls still have the ability of granular control that you probably want from a firewall like this one.